Hi there everybody, and welcome to another video. On today's video I have this little device here, which is an OBD device for reading fault codes and whatnot in your car. This is an Ediag Elite, and we're gonna see how it works. I need to connect it to my phone, so it's a Bluetooth device. The reason I got it is because I normally, when I go to check a car somewhere, I have to carry this one. So this one is a little bit big, heavy. It's obviously got a lot of more stuff to do, but for a quick check of a car, something like this is a lot easier to carry. So in order to get this working, we need to download the Ediag app, which I've already done on my phone, which is this one here. And now here, when you open it, it's going to ask you to log in. So it's going to ask you to log in. In this case, we have to register because it's a brand new device. So I'm just going to add my email there and go through the process here, and then we carry on. Okay, so once you put your email, it's going to ask you to set up a password. But it's gonna send you a pin to your email address to confirm your email. So you have to register. Just follow the registration process. Now we need to activate the device, and to do that, if we click on the go button there, it says activation, it's needed. So let's click activate. And now we're going to have a serial number and an activation code. It's on the side of this packet somewhere. I've seen it, or maybe it's on the inside. So I'm just going to take this out and we'll have a look. But I won't be showing you the serial number or activation code for this device. So I'm going to insert it here and then activate this. Okay, so if you take out the contents, and you will find the instructions, and in there's where my thumb is, there's a sticker with a code. There's a sticker and the activation code, or you can use your camera to focus on that square there, and it will log you in automatically. And then it will register you. So it says congratulations, binding successful. So please visit store later. Please pull down to refresh this page and then download the software you need. Okay, now you can obviously again follow the instructions. I've installed the app, so maybe we can go to installed already, and perhaps what we need to do next is connect the device. So here will be the device. Right, I just wanted to open the zip there, but you can see how big more or less this is if you compare it to my hand here. So it's not too big, easy to carry. You can put it in your pocket and take it with you. So that's one of the reasons I wanted to get something like this, and this is the one I got. And we'll test it in one of the cars in a minute. So we have what we have here is all system diagnostics. Now if we go on that, then we can do a VIN scan and whatnot. You have lots of different vehicles here, and I can see that there is updates here. So it's got from what I've found out, it's got lifetime updates, and you don't have to pay anything for the updates. So clearly I have a lot of updates here. And the car I'm gonna test it on at the moment, it's a BMW. So maybe we should download that just to make sure it's up to date. That's the BMW, Rolls-Royce and Mini. We have Audi. Well, there's hundreds of makes here, makes I haven't even heard of. But that's okay. So this is downloading. It's at 1.2% or so. I'm gonna let it download, and then we can go and give it a plug on my BMW X1 and see how it reads. It's the BMW I have is a 2017, so it should work well. Okay, the update has finished. It took a little while, to be fair. Now we can let's plug the device in here, if I can open it. Right. Okay, so I was pulling it from here, but you had to pull it from here. Let's plug that in there. Okay, that's in. I'm gonna get the ignition on. Right, ignition is on. I don't know if that's in there properly. Okay, that's in there properly now. You can see the little green light coming on there. And now I think we may need to connect the device to the Bluetooth of the phone. So if we go to settings, that's the device there. Okay, so the phone was saying pairing unsuccessful. So what I've done is so if I go back here, if I go to cars again, well, where is my list of cars that I had? Okay, so here what I did is I went to BMW there, I clicked open, and that connected the Bluetooth automatically to the device, so I didn't have to do it from the actual phone itself. Go figure. And now automatically search, it says here. So let's do an automatic search. My ignition is on. You normally have to have the ignition on for these devices to connect to the ECU and whatnot. Right, it says it shows me the mileage, registration number, not chassis, and X1 S-Drive 18i. Right hand drive. It says it's a manual, but it's an automatic, so I don't know why it says that. Anyway, let's go to next. Let's do a health report. So it's scanning. It seems to be scanning all the systems. Central Getaway Module, SRS Module, EPS, ABS, GWS Transmission Control Module, ECM, and the Car Access System. So all those systems it has scanned. It says there is no fault codes on any of the systems, which is good news. In any case, it would say here, it says here, clear fault codes if you had, clear DTCs, full report, or we can go back. So if you had a fault code, I suppose you could access that system and it would technically give you the fault code. So we may have to check this full report. So we have the full report. I guess we would have to check this on another car and then see if it gives us system scan. Let's go to system scan and see what we have. In any case, the health report is good. I guess the system scan would be pretty much the same. Transmission control module is telling us that all these things are equipped. If I access the engine control module, can I? ECU identify, diagnosis index, programming date 2019. Continue. Now here we can see module information. We can read fault codes, we can clear fault codes, we can have data stream. So data stream is usually good for if the engine is if you're trying to determine some parameters, like if you're checking a sensor like engine oil temperature, you could click on that and see what the engine temperature is. And obviously if you're trying to fault find a temperature sensor, then that will give you the figures. So there is quite a lot of stuff here that you can check. You have the vanos, fuel pressure low, fuel temperature. I wonder if I can select all. I'm gonna get the car started and see if we get what readings we may or may not get. It's 115. Okay, select a maximum of 24 data streams. So we can only select 24, and that's usually the case with all the devices I have. They only let me select 24. So let's select, okay, that's enough, maybe 14. See what readings we have. Engine speed, engine oil temperature. The car is cold at the moment, so 15-16 degrees is about right. Emissions warning lights status are off. Distance travel since activation. So there's no, obviously I got no warning engine lights or anything like that. The idle target speed, throttle valve, intake air temperature, charging pressure. So there you are. I mean, for a tiny little device like that, you can check, let's see the vanos and things like that. You can check quite a lot of things actually. Vanos intake, if you were checking at values. Low fuel low pressure 600 kilopascals, fuel temperature 27 degrees, electric fuel pump 41 liters per hour, tank vent, activation signal, rough running value, cylinder number 1, cylinder number 2, cylinder number 3. You can check those as well. Electric fan activation signal 10%. So if you were doing fault finding, you would normally look at all these figures. So that is pretty good. Read fault codes, no fault codes. Actuation test. You can do an actuation test. It says general here or injectors. So if you go to general, it will give you an option for what you could. If I switch the engine off, just get the ignition on. For example, the electric fan, if we want to switch on the electric fan here, activate up to a maximum engine temperature of 90 degrees. So the fan has been activated. Perhaps you can hear it. So I'm gonna stop it and you will hear the noise stopping. And so that would be sort of a part of fault finding, because you would, if your fan wasn't working and it didn't switch on, then that's one way of checking. And there's a number of things that you can test here. But anyway, there's nothing wrong with this car, so I'm not going to start messing around with it. I just want to show you the bits, the things that you could check. And it seems to be pretty good. It is a right-hand drive, at least that is right, but it does say it's a manual transmission. I'm not sure why. Anyway, let's go back and let's get out of here. You could manually choose the car as well, by the way. And then you have reports, history, maintenance functions. I suppose if you had to delete oil maintenance reset, immobilizer reset, electronic throttle, ABS brake reset, DPF regenerate, TPMS, steering angle, injector coding. That's pretty good, injector coding. Normally have to change injectors on E90s. I wonder if this works on an E90. I'll probably plug it on my E90 in a minute and we'll see. That should have some fault codes. And it's an old car, so we can also check if this works on that car. So there is quite a lot of things here that you can do. So overall, that's the device. It doesn't seem too bad. I mainly, as I may have mentioned, mainly would want it for checking cars when I go and look at cars, and I don't have to carry a big device. I can just carry the phone and that little thing there. So if you're looking for something similar, perhaps one to consider. Anyway, having said that, I hope you like the video. If you have any questions, go ahead and ask. Obviously, I've only got a few minutes to sort of check the device and test it on one car, but well, actually, I'll do my other car, and we'll see if it detects. Right, I am on the E90. I thought before I finish the video, let's check if this works. This E90 has been giving me some issues. Okay, I've connected it there. It's being, whenever I start it, it's so at the moment it's misfiring. 1 minute is running okay, the next minute is misfiring. So let's see if we can connect to the E90. This is a 2008 and it's running rough. So let's go to BMW here again. Should connect to the device. Now the misfire is settled. Automatically search. Right, it says E90 3 Series 318 automatic right-hand drive. All that is correct. Next, to ensure the accuracy of the test results, do the following: turn off the ignition, wait 10 seconds, turn on the ignition and confirm. This is very common. I get this message on my other device as well, my bigger OBD. It says turn off the ignition for about 10 seconds. Then it says turn the ignition on and press continue. But so far it's good news. It's connected to the car. Okay, let's try to put it somewhere where we can actually see it. Right, let's do a health report. See what we get. it says here most things are okay, but there is some faults. There are 2 faults in the engine control module. Let's have a look at the fault codes. Here it says radiator blind top. This is very common, is on these cars. And power management battery. So my battery has been a little bit dead lately because this car has been sitting here forever. So it's a surprise, it's actually working at the moment, but it's not showing me the misfire. So perhaps it hasn't detected the misfire just yet. I do get the same on my other car. So anyway, if you wanted to clear those faults, or if you wanted to do a system scan, it'll pretty much give you the same readings and whatnot. ECM, it's got all these modules. Let's go to the ECM there, confirm that. And yes, it takes you to this menu here where we've seen that already, and you can have the data stream as well. Let's get this car running. You have all these values again. You can check smooth running values. So again, if you were doing diagnostics, this is the data that you would be looking at. Or anything else, I mean oxygen sensors. We have all the oxygen sensor stuff. Active signal, 1.3 volts, 1.3 volts, and whatnot. So it does connect, and if you wanted to clear, I can clear the fault codes, so because they will come back anyway. Confirm. Has that done it? It's done it. So no fault codes at the moment, but they will come back because I know I have an issue with the car. So it's been an ongoing problem, and I think I need to replace all the injectors in it because the spark plugs and coil packs have been replaced now, and injectors will be the next thing. And the problem with injectors is that they're not cheap, they're very expensive. Which is what actually no, if I get out of here, what I wanted to check, it's the programming. But I can't really do that until I download. So I need to, if I go back here, yes, and we go to maintenance functions, was it? No, it wasn't. It was OBD functions, I think. Basically what we saw on the other car, where it said injector coding. DTC, CDC, protocols. It's not really. It's not really here where I want to check that. Well, let's see what this is doing. I think it's just finding a way of connecting to the car. Yeah, this is just a different way of This is a different way of connecting to the car, basically, which we don't need. So let's go to this maintenance, oil reset, what else? Oh, injector coating. So to do this, I need to download that. Anyway, so that would be another time for another video. But I can see that we can do a number of things, quite a lot of things with this little tiny device. So I'll probably make another video where I may have to replace the injectors in this car and do some coding, and we can try to use this device instead of the big one. And also because sometimes I also use the BMW software. Anyway, enough said. Hope the video helps. Don't forget to like, follow, subscribe. We'll see you all in the next video, and thank you for watching.